Kia ora. Well, 2026 is certainly hurtling along, isn't it? This year was going to be all about getting myself back on my own bandwagon. But of course, life hit me. I had a venue cancellation for one of my retreats, so that was a spanner I could have done without. I got sick at some point, so that didn't help. I've been sorting out stuff for my elderly parents and a side serve of sisterly support for my brother, which has me heading to Wellington soon, which is totally fine. I'd never not go if it's within feasibility, but it all siphons off energy that I was really hoping to put towards the things that I want to achieve. And then we had to send Carter to the Rainbow Bridge, and honestly, it's all been a bit much before my 43rd birthday, which has now been, and which I rustled up a special for because that's what you do for birthdays. I was going to end it at the end of the month, but that is in a couple of days, so it'll be probably when I get back from Wellington. Anyway, I was feeling pretty determined to get back on the road this year and was waiting on one location as I'm building a North Island tour around those dates. I do have some in-person events locked in, so it's not like I have disappeared completely, but I do miss my road trips, and it's going to feel so good when I get the ball back on the wheels. Of course, I started the notes for this paragraph before a war caused a fuel shortage, so now I need to wait a bit before I make any solid plans. If I do get to travel and fuel is diabolical, I might have to hike up the door charge a bit, and that's also provided life in general doesn't have any curveballs waiting in the wings. My knitting mojo has taken a bit of a hit. I was steamrolling through projects when Katie from Knit Nook ran that Finish Stuff Offathon last September, and I managed to finish 4 projects that had been languishing, and then everything left required a bit too much concentration. And then I got effing strep throat. So I kind of switched out stitches for brain candy and have been binging on Paranormal Romantasy, which was going well until I stumbled upon the Empyrean series by Rebecca Yarros, and If You Love Dragons and a side serve of smut, I can highly recommend. But Onyx Storm Book 3 is not the completion of a trilogy and is book 3 of 5, and I did not realize this until about an hour out from the ending, because audiobooking, and realizing the storyline was still amping and not concluding. So if you're keen, you're going to need to pause a few years if you like to have the whole set ready to read. However, it turns out she has done a ton of other books, so I'll probably delve into some contemporary romance while I wait, or quest for more wolf shifter stories, because those are my fave. I never used to like audiobooks because I do prefer holding a book, but listening to stories allows me to knit at the same time. And if you do find yourself with graphic audio versions of books, I 1000% recommend, because you don't just get dual narration, you get a whole cast, and it is amazing. Anyway, that's where my attention has been ambling lately, but I finally started a new project that requires minimal attention. I did make this top previously, but ended up frogging it because I used DK yarn and didn't like how it sat. Then I decided I wouldn't remake it because it only goes up to XL. But I was away with limited options available, and that pattern worked best with the yarn I had, plus current brain levels, and I bought the pattern before I was aware of the size inclusivity conversation, and the money is spent. So I figured I could roll with it. In other businessy news, I've given my gift vouchers a makeover, and I'm thrilled to report they are now teal. All digital, easily personalized, so I'll add the link at the bottom of the email in case you want to forward it to the people in your life who buy you gifts. And you might have noticed politically oriented posts popping up on the grid, and I'm not going to deep dive that here, but I do want to say that I do them because I feel a strong sense of social responsibility. I've put together a very basic blog so that I could park my understandings in one place, and a link is in the link section at the bottom if you would like it. Periodic reminders to check your enrolment details will hit the grid leading up to November. If you don't need the reminder, that's great, but there are many ADHD folk in the craft crowd, and I like to do what I can to help keep important things on the radar. It's funny, I can get a good ramble going, but when I run out of puff, I'm suddenly stuck on how to finish off without sounding like a dork. So I'll embrace it instead and hope you are finding your own way to stay well and informed without blowing a gasket. Sending you soft moments to savor. Modi order.